Welcome everyone to our breath awareness session. My name is Ed Daly, Director of Holistic Development with Young Living. The breath awareness practices are actually very profound. Many times in our lives, we're running around from appointment to appointment, raising our children, and life can get very hectic and chaotic. One of the best ways that we can slow down is just to find time to lay on our backs in constructive rest, as Haley and Gail are doing. Utilize a couple of Young Living essential oils and just focus on the observation of our breath. And this experience today is going to utilize two essential oils. One, Breathe Again, the roll-on, and two, Eucalyptus globulus. So we're going to start by giving Gail and Haley a little bit of Breathe Again on their left hand. And I'm going to ask them to just again create their scent tent. Many times when you're introducing an oil, you can start with the scent tent farther out and breathing in slowly, or some people really just like to put the scent tent right up close to their nostrils. So for this exercise, it's important to understand that the observation of the breath is really one of the most important things you can do. And it's through the observation that the body relaxes and finds a sense of quiet. So after Haley and Gail have been using the breathing in for a little bit, I'm going to ask them to place their hands on their lower belly. And as you're doing this at home and following along, feel free just to close your eyes. If you'd like a little eye covering, you can put a soft towel, or sometimes people like to use eye pillows in this simple practice. And the first thing I'd like you all to do is just start to notice the rhythm of your inhalation and the rhythm of your exhalation. And as you're doing that, is the rhythm slow? Is the rhythm quick? Is the inhalation quick, the exhalation slow? What do you notice? And there's no right or wrong in these practices. A great teacher once said that observation is consciousness. And when we take the time to observe the rhythm of our inhalation and the rhythm of our exhalation, then we begin to become more conscious as human beings. As you breathe in and as you notice this rhythm, you can also begin to observe the rise and fall of your hands. When you're breathing in, the hands rise slightly towards the ceiling. When you're breathing out, the hands are slowly coming back into the position that they started. It's important to notice that the mind may wander during these experiences. That's totally normal. So if the mind wanders, just keep coming back to the soft inhalation, the soft exhalation, the movement of your hands as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Now move the hands just a little bit slightly higher up on your abdomen, maybe up towards your upper abdomen. And maybe you feel comfortable with one hand on the upper belly and one hand on the lower belly. You can create your own choice here, whatever you'd like to do. And the next thing I'd like you to bring your attention to is the texture of your breath. Now, we don't tend to think breath has a texture, but many times it does. If I'm feeling slightly agitated, my texture might be a little bit more sharp or more grainy. And when I'm more relaxed, it might be more smooth. So what is the texture of your breath today? And how would you describe it? Is it smooth? Is it choppy? Does it feel a little bit gritty or grainy? Again, there's no right or wrong answers here. It's just the art of observation. Sometimes the texture of the inhalation and the texture of the exhalation can be different in nature. Is that the case for you today? Is there a change in the texture of your in-breath and the texture of your out-breath? Your eyes are soft. The skin of your face is relaxed. The tongue, the root of the tongue itself, it softens into the lower palate somewhat. From here, begin to take a slightly longer inhalation through the nose and a slightly longer exhalation through the nose. And as you do that, maybe 4 or 5 times, begin to observe, where does the inhalation touch my body? Do I feel more movement in the front body as I inhale? Do I feel more movement in the back body as I exhale? As we're doing these breath awareness practices, Everything above your collarbones, your throat, your jaw, your tongue, skin of your face, your eyes, your inner ears, stay soft and receptive. Just a couple of more, slightly longer inhalations, slightly longer exhalations, noticing where in the body the inhalation touches and where in the body the exhalation touches. Where do you feel that movement? We call this the observation of space, the observation of where the breath touches in the body. The last observation we're going to hone in on here is the areas of rest that happen at the top of the inhalation and at the bottom of the exhalation. So as Haley and Gail are breathing in and they're breathing out, there's a slight area of rest as you get to the top of the inhale, and then there's a slight area of rest as you get to the bottom of the exhalation. So just begin to observe these two areas, and maybe you might even rub your hands together again, and you might bring the scent tent to your face if you feel like that's appropriate for you. Maybe you don't want to do that. And you inhale again the remnants of the Breathe Again essential oil blend. What a beautiful roll-on. And I love the roll-ons because they're so convenient to take with you anywhere you want to go. As I breathe in, I notice the pause at the top, the period of rest at the top of my inhalation. As I breathe out, I notice the pause at the bottom of the exhalation. So these four components, and then place your hands anywhere on your abdomen or your chest that you feel comfortable. So we talked about time, the rhythm and the speed of the breath. We talked about texture. How does the breath feel? Is it smooth? Is it choppy? Is it grainy? We talked about space. Where does the breath touch the body internally? Where do we feel it? And last but not least, we talked about these two brief rest periods. Now I'm going to take you through a little breathing sequence now to just expand on how you can really change how you're feeling through these breath awarenesses and these breathing practices. So begin to take a slightly longer inhalation and a slightly longer exhalation, breathing in through the nose and then breathing out through the nose. And as you're taking this inhalation and this exhalation, I want you to feel like the inhalation and exhalation are equal in length. They call this in yoga equal action breathing. And sometimes in the beginning you may have to count, so maybe you're inhaling to the count of 3, just counting softly in your mind, and then you're exhaling to the count of 3, and then pausing. And let the rhythm be smooth and easy as I inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3. And it's said that equal action breathing has a great benefit by bringing both sides of the body into equal balance, calming the brain and relaxing us so that we can find calm in the chaos. I inhale, I exhale. There's a feeling inside my body, inside my mind, that these are equal in length. The jaw can become an area of tension for many. And the eyes, just let them soften completely. Again, when I'm doing these practices on my own, I'm asking, can my eyes soften into the eye sockets? Can I rest this part of my body that does so much work and sees so much beautiful things in the world? This equal action breath having its wonderful effect on your body and your mind. And as we continue for the next few minutes, I'd like you to, again, inhale to the count of 3, exhale to the count of 3, and at the end, just notice this beautiful pause at the end of the exhalation. The pause is but a respite for rest. It provides that opportunity for you to drop deeply into yourself so that you are quiet, you are alert, and you are conscious. Just another minute now, everyone. Soft inhalations, smooth exhalations, feeling the pause at the end of the exhalation. Noticing what you notice, and being with it all. At the end of your next exhalation, just very gently open your eyes. And as we did in the asana class earlier, just open them about halfway and just gaze softly at the ceiling, but gaze from the periphery of the eye. Try not to look with the center of your eye. That fires the optic nerve right away. And I'm going to ask Gail and Haley just to reach their left arm out, and I'm going to put a little drop of Eucalyptus globulus on there. And this is another great way to open up and support smooth, easy breathing. These breathing practices are part of my everyday self-care practice. It's important for all of us within Young Living to make sure we're taking time for ourselves, we're moving our bodies, but we're also taking the time to slow down and observe our breath. So my call to action for all of you is to find time to move every day and find time to lay on your back as you're doing here and find time to just observe your breath, the texture, observe the rhythm of it, observe the space, and observe those areas of rest. Thank you so much for joining us in this segment of our event. We really appreciate you being here.